only improv comedy group. Everything you're about to see is completely made up on the spot. So it's going to be a laugh riot. It'll be the best. We're gonna need somebody that I think everybody kind of knows a little bit. I'm gonna ask President Skorton to come on stage with me. Come on. He hasn't said enough tonight. Have a seat, Mr. Sir. Thanks. Hey.
Thanks very much.
But no, come on, bro. So what I'm gonna do here, yeah, thank you. I'm gonna interview you a little bit, if that's cool. We're gonna find out the more, tender intricacies of your life. Okay. and Megan and Greg are gonna act out a scene of your life afterwards. Okay. So why don't you? So what's your job here?
It evolves from time to time.
Sure.
Usually I sit in my office with my feet up thinking great thoughts.
Okay.
That's about 80% of my time.
Okay.
About 7.5% of my time I raise tuition. About 2.5% of my time I lower tuition, but I studied that hard for some years.
Okay.
About 1% of my time I do improv with student groups. 6% of my time I spend with PCCW. I take a little recuperation period of a week or so.
Sure.
And the rest of my time I spend listening to my wife, who is the source of all wisdom.
That's so tell me, you mentioned your wife, huh? Tell me about your wife. What does she do?
Well, she does just about everything. She is a professor in the Ithaca campus and also in New York City. The Ithaca campus is right around here. That's like...
Oh, no, in Cornell or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's true, there's another school
no,
here.
yeah.
TC3,
yeah.
So she does that, she's a teacher,
Sure.
she's a researcher, I talk about his wife, and then she also is active in the community.
Oh, that's...
She's the incoming chair of the Science Center and stuff like this.
Oh, they have such a cool golf course.
But her hobby, she and I have the same hobby. It's making students' lives a living hell. So we So like every fall, freshmen come in, and they come, the parents are there, and they say, I'm so sorry you're leaving Mom and Dad, Uncle, Aunt. And then the parents turn their back and they say, yes, they're gone. Those old blanks are gone. It's and then, 10 minutes later, they see my wife and I moving into Donald. Her smiles disappear. And her dreams of freedom.
Wait, you live in Donald?
We live in Donald each fall during orientation. We did it when you were a freshman.
No way.
You're class of 11, right?
Yeah.
Were you in Donald?
No, I lived in Jam, which is...
Oh, Jam. We're next to Jam, sort of, yeah. We didn't invite me to Jam.
That's not true. I actually did invite you to Jam with me, and you didn't come.
Presidents, university presidents, see the future.
Sure.
And I was sitting there, and my wife said, once you do that, you're supposed to care about students, you're just a big blowhard, once you do that.
Sure.
And so I said, well, let me just make sure that this dude is going to do right by me. And then all of a sudden, I had this vision that 4 years hence I'd be sitting in a carrier ballroom and putting me in front of people and embarrassing the blank out of me. Just I'm not going to play with this guy.
No.
And don't get it.
How are you going to get it?
In a certain weekend in May, you're going to be all dressed up in this cap and gown. It's going to be blisteringly hot, and your parents and family are going to be there, and you're going to just want to finish this thing. So there's going to be one thing standing between you and the end, my speech.
Okay.
My wife, Professor Robin Davison, and when she does a commencement, she goes up and down the aisles, making sure that nobody has their iPod during that speech. She goes over and pulls them out of your ear.
Yeah, they have something like that at Wines. Yeah.
So this is it. And so what happens is you can't even get away from my speech by like your iPod deal. No way.
So
when you try to text,
she
puts duct tape on your thumbs. So you're sitting there, no iPod, thumbs tied together, listening to my speech. Starts to cry.
Sure. Yeah.
Can you ever be done with your education at Cornell? And so that's how I'm going to get even with you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Wow, I think I've asked you like one question. So I believe that's going to happen.
Teach you something.
What can you...
someday you're going to be in front of an audience for Q&A.
Okay.
There's two ways to do Q&A.
Two.
One is give short, crisp, to the point answers and get assaulted with more questions.
Sure.
The other one is wear them down with non-linear sentences with many dependent clauses. We used to like diagram sentences. We would write these diagrams. And the sentences, the attorneys will tell you a sentence should be like this. But the university president will tell you a sentence should be like and then what happens is they can't take it. And the person in charge of the ending, say Carolyn, will say, by the time that happens, you've dodged all the tough questions.
Sure.
Like I'm dodging your tough question. Your question?
Go for it. I like being young. I am getting up there in age. I'm 21 and I can barely, I can barely get out of bed in the morning.
I got one at my age too, but the first number ended in 2. We'll do a multiple choice test.
Sure.
Okay? Multiple choice test.
Sure.
4 choices. So it's easy. You're a Cornell student, A, B, C, D. As I get older,
okay.
I will, 1.
Wait, 1 or A?
A, I'm sorry. My athletic ability and feel better every day.
Okay.
I know where you're laughing. Number 2, grow wiser and wiser and wiser, and everything I know will get deeper like the ocean, and I'll get wiser and wiser, and everything will make more sense.
Okay.
C, I will be able to solve problems that people have suffered and not solved for generations and even centuries.
Sure.
And 4, everything goes south. Everything hurts. I get out of bed in the morning, I can't even move. I want to go do a race, but I can't move. I go to the doctor, he says, this thing hurts, so exercise that thing, and then that thing starts to hurt, exercise this thing, that's D. So it goes, boom. What do you think?
I guess I'll go for the wisdom one, because I'm pretty wise.
Well, you were close.
So let me ask you a question. When you were my age, 21, a few years ago, did you think you would be an president?
It's a long question.
Question's over.
Okay.
Did you think you would be disrespecting people my age? So for the terms of from what I understand, this is my stage right now. It's my stage. You might be the president of the school, but right now it's like I'm your barber. Like I make the rules right now. Okay, so I want you to answer my question. No snoring, no more Tell me what it was like to be a college student at Northwestern, Idaho, or whatever. Not in the Ivy League.
First of all, we never saw the president.
Never.
The president, well, we saw him at the end.
Sure.
We shook our hands going across the stage.
I get to shake your hand at the end.
Well, I don't shake your hand. What I do with your hand is I say, you're an alum, make sure we have your contact information. I'll tell you a little story about that.
So I can give you money.
So here's the Titanic, right? The Titanic,
I was just talking about that the other day. Keep going.
okay. And the last lifeboat of the Titanic is going off, and there are two people on the Titanic. Okay?
Jim.
The head of PCCW is the head in those days.
Sure. Okay.
An elegantly dressed woman, dressed to the nines, and one of the staff members on the boat. And they get put in the last lifeboat. And the ship goes down, there's sharks surrounding the lifeboat. And the staff member's crying and praying to his personal deity. And the woman's sitting there humming, and working on her nails, and puffing on a cigarette. And he says to her, why aren't you worried? We're out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The ship went down. It's pitch black. There's no food. There's no water. The boat is leaking, and there's sharks surrounding us. And she said, I once gave $50,000 to Cornell University. They'll find me.
Yeah, okay, so I think, you know what, I don't have any questions. Let's give a round of applause for them. talk anymore, which is nice. So Megan and Greg are going to do a scene for you about your life as we just saw it. Okay? The vivid depiction you gave us of all the details of your life. And when they get something wrong, okay, so like a detail like, for instance,
I love Wesleyan.
You might or may not love Wesleyan, but assuming you don't love Wesleyan, I want you to honk this horn. Okay? And he'll try again.
I love Colgate. I love Cornell.
There we go. See?
And then you.
And then,
I have a question.
yes.
University presidents are trained to like whatever the person they're talking to says.
It'll be interesting. When they get something right, hit the bell, and they'll keep going to the scene.
Okay, I'm not going to hit the bell very much.
Okay, are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Do you guys need a suggestion for this?
No, we're good.
Okay, you're good? Okay, go for it.
Hold on, Robin. I'm thinking.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing, David, on North Campus right now?
I just had a vision.
Yeah,
I think we should build another dorm.
that's exactly what
We should get rid of Bulch.
Those girls, they don't need
I think we should make Dixon an all-guys dorm. No, I like the way North Campus looks. Yep. All right, on to the 7.5% where I raise tuition. All right, on to the 2.5% where I lower tuition.
So, just a little, multiple choice question for you tonight.
I love it when you do this, Bob. I love it. This infuriates me, but you are my wife and you know everything, so.
So, tomorrow morning, when you wake up, would you like, this is going to be A, B, C, D, okay? Would you like 1, 2 cereal, 3 pancakes, or 4 all of the above?
As a university president, I've been taught that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So, as a university president, I've been taught to just accept anything that is told to me. So, I think that I would like eggs and cereal and actually, can I ask you a question? I would like just eggs, cereal, and pancakes sort of mashed into a bowl together because when I was at Northwestern, it was a great time. And can I tell you about the Titanic? Yeah, there were these 2 people on a lifeboat. And, well, the moral of the story is PCC. And I'm going to go into this really long explanation, of course, absolutely. And so they're sitting in a lifeboat, and one of them is 5'8", 135 pounds, with brown hair, and she's, she's got nice legs on her, and, there's just, and she is nothing compared to you, dear. And she's sitting there with her husband, who happens to look a lot like me, and of course she looks a lot like you. And they're sitting there and they're talking about their futures and they're talking about everything, and she turns to him and she says, why aren't you scared? I think we're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and it's dark and the ship sank, and he just turns to her and he says, I'd like eggs.